So welcome back to the HSBC Asian 7 Series. You've joined us in time to watch a Pool B decider between Malaysia and Korea. And these two teams have met each other 3 times in the series so far, and Malaysia are 2-1 up. They beat Korea in Malaysia and then shocked them in Mumbai. The Koreans beat Malaysia in Thailand. So, yeah, this game's got a bit of history to it, recent history. And the Koreans, I just get the feeling that they've come to play this weekend. They've chosen a very experienced, athletic squad. Not a good start there, though, for Hwan In-ju, who scored the first try for them in this tournament. He ended up with 2 in the bag against UAE as Korea defeated them 38-0. Then Malaysia took care of them 43-0, so difficult day at the office for UAE. Malaysia with a tricky little short one. It's come off well to Aparosa, to Williame. Get it back to Nazaruddin, a standout player in the first game. Shahir on the sidelines. Gives the big handoff and gets some go forward too. Not easy against these Koreans. The big powerful man, Williame, decides to go wide this time. Zulkifli, who's playing a centre role in this tournament. He's done very well so far. And he's got a couple of flyers outside him. It's a penalty against Korea. Lee Gyu-duk with his hands in the ruck. Williame quickly. Good strong tackle there from Kim Kwon-min. He's one of the players we're talking about, and there's numbers out here on the right for Malaysia. Shahir again standing on the wing, tries to cut inside and get through. Han Kung-kyu throws him to the ground, and going off their feet, I think, and in from the side perhaps for Malaysia. So Korea able to see off that first stanza.
Just ample position there by Malaysia there. Just phase after phase and looking quite clinical at what they did and didn't panic at all. So just a small little 1% with the kick gone deep and hasn't gone out. So a bit of a mistake there by Korea.
Yeah, Hong Joon-ki just trying to carve off a bit too much there, but the Malaysians decide to put in a kick of their own. Here's Kim Kwon-min, who really is a flyer. Gets in behind the ball, gets it wide. To Hong Joon-ki, the man who failed to find touch just minutes ago. So they're back where they started really before this penalty. The Koreans just need to be patient here. Inside ball. And some good bustling play from Han Kung-kyu. Sound defence though. So a few penalties here against Malaysia. Discipline important. This is going to be a close game, isn't it? Kim Kwon-min gives a good ball. Lovely one to the flyer. Kim Gyun-soo, who's such a good athletic player. Oh, and he can't find any support though. Williame flips the ball nicely to Shahir, and he's away, Shahir. He's got some open space, and there's loads of Malaysians screaming for the ball. Zulkifli takes it wide to Williame. Han Kung-kyu gets behind the ball, but he's got Shahir, who just loves to lurk out on the outside, and referee Hollywood has decided to call cut to the action there, with a forward pass called, much to the chagrin of the Malaysians, to put it mildly. Well, both teams had their chances to score there.
Absolutely, the Koreans just all the way down into the Malaysian half, Mike, and just didn't have the support player with them.
So quickly here from Lee Myung-jun. Shows some power too to get through and over the advantage line. Good ball for the flying Hwan In-ju, but he's knocked it on. Some good creative play from both teams here, but just the last pass failing to be held. He's a big unit, that number 6, Wan Nju. I wonder if they'll put some pressure on here, the Koreans, on the scrum. Fairuz Rahman at scrum half, the wily veteran. And a penalty against the scrum half for Korea. So again, this is another arm wrestle, isn't it, Dino?
Oh, it is. I mean, if you look at the score at the moment, and it's tied up at 0-0, and that both, as you said, both teams have got great opportunities to score, which they haven't, and Malaysia have definitely made the opportunity of their penalty this time compared to the Koreans earlier. So I suppose it comes down to, Micah, who's going to take the opportunities. Malaysia played in the first, maybe middle or two of the game. They were quite patient, had phase after phase. So they just need to bring that back into the game at this stage here, right? Just coming close to half time and just soak up that pressure, soak it up before you know points might come on the board. So let's see what they got here.
I found that bizarre that the Koreans didn't sweep back and make sure that the kick went into touch. No opposition is Kim Guan-ming. He hasn't shown the pace we've seen of him in the past, but he's got enough now, some fancy footwork to get round the outside. Fairuz Rahman is chasing for all his worth, but it's not going to be enough for Kim Guan-ming, who just looks a metre or two off his best, but it was good enough to get round the outside that time for the first try of the game for Kim Guan-ming.
And exactly what we talked about, Mike, early on, is just getting that patience. And without the ball, they lost their set piece in the line out. And all of a sudden, you're on the back foot. And being the back foot here is literally 90-odd metres down the other end underneath the goalpost.
The winner of this pool will go on to probably play Chinese Taipei in the quarter-final. So quite a favourable draw as we see the replay. And Kim Guan-ming, Viliami just taking his eye off the defence and then getting around the outside too of, I think it was Aswad. Good cover there from Fairuz. He ran the width of the field to get over there, but just couldn't lay a hand on him. So Hong Joon-ki to restart. We have a substitute here, and it could be for Hong Joon-ki actually. Oh no, it's the scrum half who comes off for Oh Yoon-hyun. Lee Myung-jun taking a spell. So we've got two fly halves on the field for Korea. Hong Joon-ki there, and Oh Yoon-hyun, who usually plays at standoff for the Koreans, probably slot in at scrum half. So we'll restart this game again. Here's Hong. Perosa's underneath it, takes it, and then Han Kung-kyu gives him a tickle up on the back. Free back rub. So here's Oh Yoon-hyun, who gets manhandled by Shahir, but offside. So quick one here for Korea. They go away, and Kim Guan-ming got hit very hard in defence, but they went 10 metres back. And this could be a yellow card here, I think, for the Malaysians. Was it high, or was it a... Yeah, it's a yellow card against one of the... It's Viliame who gets pinged.
Yeah, interesting call on that one, Mike. Unless it's just professional foul, no, he's gone for the high tackle.
Yeah. So Korea, one-man advantage, and Han Kuk-kyu, like a big steam train, going out of the Seoul station, over for a try. So Korea in their pomp today. And it looks like they mean business in this tournament. No, they wouldn't have been happy with their Mumbai outing. So Hong Joon-ki has managed to slot that conversion. And it's 14-0 at half-time. So there's the replay of the try. Han Kung-kyu, he's bracing himself for a big run towards the try line, and Aparosa tried hard but couldn't stop that. Big slab of Korean bulgogi going over the line. So confirmation at half-time, 14 points to 0. to Korea over Malaysia. And Dino, can Malaysia make their way back into this game?
Well, 14 points to 0, Mike. All they just need to do is just get their own set piece right, really. When they got the ball, they can do as much as they can. And I've been quite impressed that they've been quite patient on it as well. So, yeah, they've lost a couple of lineouts and just need to just really consolidate set piece. And that's the key thing in anything in terms of setting.
Well, if there was any motivation to do well in this game, the loser of this game will play Japan in the quarterfinal. The winner will play Chinese Taipei. So
that's an incentive on its own there, Mike. And I know who I would be playing against. I'd be like to go up straight for Japan. But that's just my thoughts anyway.
Yeah. That's you, Dino. All courage, no sense.
Or they want to get knocked out early and straight to the bar, or not too sure which one, or knock the potential champions off there surely in the piece. But
true, yeah, why not? There's a silver lining in every cloud, that's for sure. So Korea will restart here through Oh Young-hyun. Looks like Hong Joon-ki's been replaced. Kickoff hasn't gone 10 either, so we'll start with a free kick for Malaysia. Just what you didn't want if you're a Korean fan. So Keith Lee goes to halfway and looks at his options. He's got Nazaruddin. Spot on the outside. Man who scored 4 tries against the UAE. Been a bit barren in this game so far. Malaysia driving forward. 3 men in their back line. Fairuz looks up to survey what he's got. Aparosa. Good defence there from Korea. And some infringement there, perhaps not on his feet from Fairuz. So penalty to Korea. I've got some numbers here, 2 3-on-1 on the outside. Oh Yoon-hyun looks to his support. Oh. So Hwan and-ju went in to support. In fact, it was Hong Joon-ki still on the field. Not sure if he was the man who knocked it on, if it was Oh Yoon-hyun when he fell to ground. So chance goes begging to seal the game perhaps there for Korea. Beautiful, balmy early evening here in Singapore. That rain really cooled things down nicely, didn't it, Dino?
Yeah,
high 20s, 28 degrees. Lovely to bask here in the tower.
Yeah, we've still got a good little crowd over in the stadium over there, so it's a nice Saturday afternoon.
Fairuz takes it quickly. Korea really need to snuff out any chances of a Malaysian try here. So once they get a sniff, it'll be game on. Shah here takes the tackle. Korea put a bit of pressure on at the tackle, but it leaves them short wide. And Viliami's back from his mini suspension. And they're stringing together some nice phases here, Malaysia. Fairuz decides to go up the middle. He's got lots of support over the ball. Oh, but again off their feet. It's pretty tough from this one there. They strung together a couple of good phases, Malaysia. They were looking good, but just to secure that ball, going in off their feet.
And it was a probably good opportunity too, Mike. Korea had continuous mistakes, I suppose, and put Malaysia back into the game, and just never sort of capitalised on. Not so much in territory, they're just possession, and just those small 1% of mistakes is now putting Korea back in the game again. Malaysia's just got to have that, how would you put it, maybe that killer instinct. You just got to, when you're in the zone, you've just got to be patient and take the points that's available.
So Fairuz looks a bit shaky. Maybe corked his thigh there. Wobbling off, but it's a penalty to Korea. Hong Joon-ki will want to make sure of this touch. Yep, out it goes, and well into the heart of Malaysian territory here. Hong Joon-ki has been one of the key players for Korea in the last couple of tournaments. One of the few to shine in Mumbai. Oh Yoon-hyun, usually at standoff, will play the hooker's role here, or the standoff, sorry, put the Ball into the line out, and away he goes, looping around. Nice timing on the run from the new man on the field, Im Jae Bong. And Viliame goes high again. He better watch himself. Han Kung Kyu charging again for the line, and he puts the game beyond doubt. The massive steam train from Korea, Han Kung Kyu. The third try for Korea, and that's game over. They've won Pool B.
Exceptional. That's what you call pure strength there, Mike. And yeah, Malaysia try to do the grab and wrap tackle, and no, just shrugged Viliame off like he was just a little mosquito there. Sorry to say that, Viliame, but yeah, you've just got to do the simple textbook tackle with the conversion successful.
He loves the confrontational aspect of the game, Han Kung Kyu. He's when he first hit the scene, I remember a game against Singapore, actually, the Asian Five Nations. I think it was Singapore's first ever game at the top echelon, and there he scored 4 or 5 tries. He just had a field day, smashing, going out of his way, Lomo-esque in the way of going out of his way to smash into people on his way to the try line. It's good to have aggressive players like that in the game. Here's another aggressive player. It's Park No-hoon, who, believe it or not, plays centre in the 15s game. He's packed on a bit of weight. And hopefully he'll show his athleticism mixed with his extra size to good effect. Zulkifli, who's put in some nice passes on attack. I've been very impressed with him at centre this tournament. So Malaysia just announcing that they're not finished here. But that was a great piece of skill in the defence there from Oh Yun Hoon. I think he almost kicked it out football style from the grasp of Hafiz. Is it Hafiz or Aswad? I can never tell them apart. They're brothers. You're the Malaysian expert, Dino.
Hafiz. Today we'll call him Hafiz. But yeah, what great skill over the back down there, just to get round his opponent with the kick through. So
indeed, it is Hafiz. Well done. I think Aswad's the elder, 25 years old, and Hafiz maybe just 20. So a couple of youngsters. Good to see. 21-0, just a few moments left in this game. Pool B decider. Looks like Malaysia are destined to go through to face Japan in tomorrow's quarterfinal. And Korea perhaps will take on Chinese Taipei unless Thailand can somehow upset Japan in that Pool D last game. So a penalty against Malaysia here that'll confirm things. I just think that if things go according to plan and Korea get to the stage where they can take on Japan in the semi-final, I think that's a real game right for the taking for Korea. They went far off the pace in Malaysia. They lost to Japan in the semi-final 15-7. I think it was 8-7 with just minutes to go. And the Koreans love to take on Japan. A lot of history there. I think they're looking at that game. So everybody's talking about who's going to win the tournament, Japan or Hong Kong in the series. But
well, yeah, exactly, Mike. And you would have thought on today's performance whether you would have put money on Hong Kong or Japan to actually be in that final after a couple of possibly disappointing performances first up.
Yeah. Lee Yong-xian here on the near side of the scrum, and the young army players who's come in. Just 22 years old. Liami manages to get the ball away. Zulkifli playing at standoff this time. Hafiz, a bit of space on the outside, but good covering tackle from Kim Guan-ming. That's the end of the game, so Korea have won Pool B. A good performance from them. Malaysia, they'll be saddened by that performance. Held tryless against Korea, but the Koreans showing they've got something in store for some of the teams they'll face on day 2. Korea win Pool B with a good victory over Malaysia.